Hey golf fans, welcome to a playoff edition of Up and Down, where we take a look at what's trending up and what's trending down in the game of golf. Trending up, the intensity around the upcoming team competitions. Both the Solheim and Ryder Cups are just around the corner. In fact, this week's Women's Open Championship marks the last opportunity for LPGA players to impress the European and US captains. Speaking of the US skipper, Pat Hurst has indicated that any player outside of the top 20 on the US points list will not be considered for a captain's pick. This would include Brittany Lincecum, who enters the week ranked 23rd and has missed just one Solheim Cup since 2007. On the men's side of things, they've got two more events, this week's Northern Trust and next BMW Championship. Among those on the outside looking in for the US lineup are Jordan Spieth, last week's winner Kevin Kisner, and Captain America himself, Patrick Reed. If there's one thing Captain Steve Stricker has had, it's time to think through these decisions. It's now been just about 3 years since the Europeans were victorious in Paris. That marked their 4th win in the past 5 Ryder Cups. Also trending up, yes, Jim Moore, it's that time of year again. The FedEx Cup playoffs are here. While the format has been trickier to track over the years than a delayed flight out of LaGuardia, the fact remains it's the biggest money grab of the season. $60 million will be up for grabs across the playoff events, with 25% of that going to the FedEx Cup champion. Not that any of these guys will be pinching pennies in the near future, but if you're looking for someone with some added motivation, look no further than Jon Rahm. As you recall, he withdrew from the Memorial Tournament after a positive COVID test. He held a 6-shot advantage and was 18 holes away from a potential $1.6 million payday. Of course, another positive test would knock him out of the Olympics later in the summer. So for now, let's just keep world number 1 in a glass case and make sure he gets to East Lake safe and healthy. Trending down, every rose has its thorns, and Justin Rose certainly felt them over the weekend. He bogeyed the final hole of the Wyndham Championship to fall 1 point shy of a playoff spot. One would have thought he'd have some good karma headed his way, having been recognized earlier in the week for his charitable efforts off the course. All is not lost, however, for the PGA Tour's Man of the Year. He is fully exempt for next season and will play a full schedule. As far as the bubble boy, it was Chesson Hadley who made a hole-in-one during his final round en route to a 62 as he locked up the 125th position in the FedEx Cup playoffs and secured his PGA Tour card for another year in dramatic fashion. We wrap things up with something to keep an eye on at this week's Northern Trust. While Tiger Woods continues to rehab his leg injury, his caddie will be back in action. Patrick Cantlay's full-time looper tested positive for COVID-19, so Joe LaCava will step in as Cantlay gets his playoff campaign underway at Liberty National. That's all for this episode of Up and Down. You can always head over to si.com for more, and remember, it's not about whether you hit the perfect approach, it's about whether you get up and down from there.